YouTube. Alright, I'm gonna wait till y'all come on. Yeah. Hey, whoever. Oops. What happened? Hey, one person on here. Y'all going that quick? Alright, I'm gonna wait for a few minutes until somebody comes on. Hey, whoever's on there. Who's on here tonight with me? I'm gonna set my destination. Then I'm gonna start talking. Sure, ready to go. Home. Alright, whoever the one person is and gave me the thumbs up, as you can see from the title, even though Uber is, hey J Hill, who else on here too, so I can say hello. Okay, well, hey Joseph. Alright, so let me tell y'all how my day went with Grubhub and Uber Eats. Well, Grubhub was really slow. I only had one order and I did 3 blocks, which totaled to 6 hours. A total of 6 hours. And then out of that whole entire time, when I was also working the Grubhub block, I hate this. This is so stupid on this little curve. Alright, let me go and follow this person. But anyway, so with that being said, I made $16, I think I said. Yeah, I got the guarantee for Grubhub, which was the $10 per hour. And since I only had one order that totaled about $7, they had to make up the difference, which they gave me the difference, which would be $65. Let me see, 65. Well, it'll be let me see, yeah, it'll be 60. It'll be $60, I think, something like that. I don't know. Hey, whoever the other person who joined me in. And then at the same time, I was doing Uber Eats. Now I had a promotion all day with Uber Eats, which was the boost. And the boost was 1.1 to 1.4, which sucked. I'm like, who the hell want to do with that little bit of boost? But anyway, I was in certain areas to do the boost earlier. Now, earlier it started out kind of slow because my first order was to McDonald's, and then I went to the wrong McDonald's that around 11. It started at 11 o'clock, and it usually be the McDonald's around my house, but it was the other McDonald's up the street. So I went there, did my McDonald's run, and then my Grubhub block started at noon. So I turned on the app for Grubhub, and I also kept the app turned on for Uber Eats. And during that whole entire time, I've gotten Uber Eats orders. So I didn't get any. I did get $6 cash tips total. I had got the last tip from the not the last person, but the other person I had just delivered to. And let me tell you how I had to get that tip. And I said, well, we don't get paid, First of all, it was dark. I couldn't even see. So I called her. I said, well, I can't see your house number. And she apologized. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize how dark it gets out here. So she came out and, all she had to do was really kind of stand out the door so I could know what door it was. And I could have just ran up to her townhome. But she ran outside to my car and he had no shoes on and nothing. And then I said, we don't get paid that much. I said, I do appreciate any tip. So it's like, oh, can we tip through the app? I said, oh, yeah, you can. And is it easy? I said, no, it ain't really easy. So she ran out, gave me $5 in cash tips, which was nice of her. And because I was like, I tell people they could tip through the app, but then it makes it so freaking hard to tip on the Uber app, because I still couldn't figure out how to tip on an app when I asked for someone's phone yesterday to look at, and I just couldn't, guide them to the point where I could have pressed a button. Now I know it's dark, so where I could have pressed a button or pressed somewhere on the screen so I could direct them where they could leave a tip, even if they leave $2. I did 11 orders with Uber Eats today. And if all 9 of them were the tip, because technically I did get $1 tip with one person, and then the areas that I had a boost, man, that boost was full of crap. The 3 orders that I had a boost for, it was only an extra 35 cents. That was it. It was an extra 35 cents for the boost. And it was like I want to say it was 1.1 or something. Even if it was a 1.3, trust me, it would have been like maybe a few more pennies. Man, that boost was full of crap. And then the thing about it, if you are if it's not a long trip or whatever, it's a short one, it's not really that much of a difference. So I said, you know what? Right, I'm trying to go into certain areas and to try to see if I'll make some extra money with the boost. And it ain't worth it. Let me tell you, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it. I could have stayed in my certain areas that may not have been. But to be honest with you, all of Atlanta was a boost today. All of it, every single area throughout Atlanta was a boost. So, and it was all day. It was from 11 a.m. until 9 o'clock at night. And then it was a previous boost, like 5 in the morning until I want to say it was like 5 a.m. to 8, and then it was like 9 to. It was some crazy hours they had some boosts. But I think the boost wasn't just for Uber Eats. I think it may have also applied if you were driving. Not just Uber Eats. Because you could get a 1 point something or whatever if you do regular Uber X or the other driving platform with people. But but for Uber Eats, I just think the boost is not that big of a deal. I mean, it's not going to be too much of a difference, unfortunately. So yeah, so I did with Grubhub with the guarantee, because I had the total of 6-hour blocks, and with that block I was getting the $10 guarantee of $60. And if it wasn't for the block, I don't know if I would have made that much money with I had turned on my app on my own, I wouldn't know where. I don't know where it would have been busy at. I don't know where I would have gotten orders because, to be honest, I was sitting at home at a certain point, and then when I was driving around doing Uber Eats with the Uber Eats app on, like I was on Memorial Drive, I was at, I know for sure, 2 restaurants that does Grubhub and Uber Eats, and that Grubhub app did not turn on one time when I was at that seafood place on Memorial Drive. I didn't hear a thing. I didn't hear nothing. And then the other one was Panda Express, and they didn't even hey, 6 people. Well, 6 people. I know Joseph is on here, and I know Hill is on here. So who's the other 4 people? So I could acknowledge y'all too. So anyways, Grubhub was not busy. And then when let me see, my last block was from 6 to 8. And my last block was all the way on Buford Highway. I was already at home, in the house, already at the house. And then I got it. I'm sitting there at my desk. I said, okay, I'm just gonna wait and see if I get any more orders because there ain't nothing popping. And then I got that, and here it comes. At 7. No, what time was that? It was about. It couldn't have been 6 something because it wouldn't took me all day to get there. It was about 6. It was 6:20. Oh no, well 7 no. No, it was 6 something. And that's when I got my Grubhub order. And it was all the way on Buford Highway. And it was 28 minutes away. And that's if I was to take the shortest distance that they told me to go, which basically was 8 and then get on 285. But right before I got to right before I put to get on 285, it started pouring down raining. And I said, nope, I don't drive on no highways when it's raining, especially 285. I said, I'll just take the street way, because it ain't that much difference, really. It ain't that much difference in time. So I drove the street way because I knew where it was. And then this restaurant that I always go to, it always doesn't go to the address that it says on the app. And so I guess I must have took a long time to get there, because when I got to the restaurant at 7ish, I want to say it was like 7 after 7. I knew it was after 7:30 or something, because my block was over at 8, and I had went over my block, so I had Grubhub to adjust it and had it delivered at 8:20. So I got that order about 7ish, because they wanted me to pick it up by 7:11, but it was already. Now that's what it was. It was 7:08 when I got that order. My block is over at 8 o'clock, and that was the only order I got all day with Grubhub. And prior to that whole entire day, when I had turned on in Grubhub, when it was time for me to log on with Grubhub, because I had it like I worked 2 hours, then I had an hour break, and then I log on again, and then I had another hour break. So that's what I did. So I said, rather than me turning off Uber Eats when I'm working the Grubhub app, I said I might as well keep both the apps on, because if Grubhub is busy and I was getting orders back to back, then I would have turned off Uber Eats. But since I turned on Uber Eats and Grubhub at the same time, and I was driving on Memorial Drive, I wasn't at the house that whole entire time. I didn't get no Grubhub orders. None. I know this is a bad connection. I hate every time I go certain places in Atlanta, all of a sudden, the area, all of a sudden, these dang internet thing is bad. So basically, in the long run, the short story is that if you're doing Grubhub and you got blocks of time, it's an advantage to sign up for blocks, because I know a lot of people who say, I just turn on the app and see if I get any orders. They don't work on blocks. But it could come a time with Grubhub that those orders could be all over the place, But come Monday, that Tuesday morning, they're going to be splitting the zones to the east side and west side. So I know for sure I don't have to ever be worried about going to one certain part of town if I don't live over there. But to me, I don't think it makes a difference with east side, west side, because if I've never got no order, if I'm in Stone Mountain and I get an order to go to Marietta, I've never seen it. No, let me think. Let me take that back. Nope, pretty much never had that. Now I have had orders when I lived in, even though I live in Stone Mountain, I may get an order in Alpharetta, but technically, if I get an order in Alpharetta, all I have to do is come back where I just came from. Going down, anybody know about Atlanta? I live, Lord Jesus, people play their own damn music. You hear that, y'all? Some kind of Hindu, Indian music. I respect everybody's culture. But I can tell you one thing, Atlanta has changed. Go on these suburbs in Lilburn. Lilburn used to be lily white. Now, I'm driving down this particular road. There's a whole bunch of, I don't know if they're Hindu or whatever, but they got this beautiful big old temple that stands off on the street, and it looks like a castle almost. And it is so pretty. I don't know what the religion is. I don't know what they call it. I just, I know it's not Muslim or nothing, but it has it's a beautiful looking castle. One day I'm gonna take a picture of it or show in the background what it looks like, because you can see it really good in the dark too. It looks like it kind of glows, but I don't know if they do. I know they won't let you take pictures when you get inside, but it's like I don't know what it is. It's like I'm gonna pass by it in a few minutes. If I pass by and I stop at a red light, I'm gonna see if y'all can see the background, what it looks like. I don't know if y'all can see it. Y'all may be able to see it in the dark because it kind of glows. But I'm gonna drive up to it in a few minutes. I hope I can be able to show y'all what it looks like, because it's quite interesting. I know when they have a service or if something's going on, it almost seems like 10,000 people or more comes out of that place. I just don't know what it's called, but I'm about to drive up to it in a minute. I need to get me one of those cameras, like GoPro or something, because I would like to take some good footage of when I'm driving. And not just so much just to make my, do YouTube channels, but Also kind of like, safety reasons. Not that I have people in my car, but some of these people be driving like a fool. And I need to start having a camera because some of these people really be doing some crazy stuff. Yeah, it's not good, but it's not great. But you know what? Unless there's some pending tips that's not coming through yet, it will make it really good. You know, if all those people were to tip, I mean, even like 13 orders, or really 11 orders. What did I say I did? 11. I think I said 11. If none of those people would just leave $2, if everybody was to just leave $2 on the Uber Eats app, we're not asking. I'm not asking for $5, $10. I mean, unless you ordered like a catering thing or something, unless you ordered like $100 worth of food or $90 worth of food or something, or $100 or something like that, then leave. I'm about to approach up to the thing now. You know what, y'all? I'm gonna pull up and see. Dang it! Y'all can't see it from here like this. I was gonna show y'all what it looks like too. Ugh. You know what? Maybe if I pull up at this dang it, pass it again. Shit. I was trying to show y'all something. See, that's what I get. Being all dang no. I'm gonna pull up at this package store, and then I'm gonna pull up at this package store, which is a liquor store in Georgia, but they call it package store. In some counties, they call it package store. I know in South Carolina they call it ABC. But I've never seen liquor store. I think that's up in the north I seen that. But I'm gonna show y'all this little I don't know if it's Hindu. I don't know what the hell it is. I'm gonna have to Google it. What you say? But you know what though? In the beginning, I was getting a lot of $2 and $5 tips on the app. I got a lot of $2 and $5 tips. But remember I told y'all when I had ordered food, it comes in increments of $1, $5, and $10. And then it has other. So people are not leaving $1. But if they're giving me $2, that means that they've gone and hit other and put $2. And to be honest with you, with the average food that most people are getting, these one plate things or something, that's adequate. If they're paying $7 just for the food, I'm not even counting the $4.99 delivery fee, just the food price itself. Man, I thought I could see it from here. Oh, I can't see it. I was gonna show y'all what I'm talking about, but I can't see it from over here. Oh well, I'm gonna have to show y'all another day. I don't even. Let me just bring my butt home. Stop trying to show y'all stuff, and I don't even know what the hell it's called. See, you could see it from if I was coming from Rockbridge Road, going towards it. You could see it. Oh well. I don't know what religion it is. I know it's like Baps, but it's something. I don't know what the hell it's called. It's not Hindu religion, but they look like they're from India, and they wear these little robes and stuff. There's so many different religions, and there's Hindu and some of it has like a Muslim faith, Christian, but it's something. It's called something. I just can't recall. I don't know. Maybe I just Google it. But anyway, back to my tip day. So let me tell you, when I was at the $3 cafe and had that double order, and the girl gave me the $5 cash tip, and this one guy, he was picking up his food, he wasn't doing Uber Eats. So he says, are you doing that Uber, they call that Uber Eats? I said, yeah. And I said, well, how's that going? I said, it'll be all right if people tip, but other than that, it's all right. But he said, well, maybe people need to be aware about tipping. And he says just ask them for a tip, straight up. He said just say that this ain't free, you spend a lot of money for gas, and you can ask them bluntly for a tip. And so I said, you know what, you're right. So I think that's how I got that $5 tip from that girl. Even though she probably would have made an attempt to tip on the app. But I said, how I approached it to her was, I said, well, here you go. I gave her food or whatever. I said, thank you for using Uber Eats. And I said, well, I told her straight up, I said, we don't get paid that much. I said, I would appreciate any gratuity or tip that you wish to leave. She said, oh, okay, cool, tip to the app. And I said, yeah. And then, that's when the conversation came up about, was it easy to tip to the app or whatever? And I said, no, not really. And she said, okay, well, let me go ahead and give you cash. So she ran the house and gave me 5 brand new crispy dollar bills of $5 in ones, 5 ones. So that was pretty good for her. That was pretty nice. And she had a good sized order of food too. But that would have been suffice. Big orders of food. Now I'm not talking about catering orders like that either. I'm talking about like 3, you got 3 meals, a family of 3, and you paying $20, $25. Because most of the time, if you do 20, at a wing place, an average $25, and 20% of 25 is $5. So if you spending $25, $30, $5 is pretty suffice when you picking up family meals. But if you picking up one plate for one person to eat, for wing platter, Chinese food platter for one, $7 plates, $6, $7 or whatever, that's $2 is good. $2 is good. Family meals of $25, $5 is good. If it's 60, $50, because most people ain't gonna spend $100 of food, not like that. And let me tell you, if they are spending that amount of money in food, like yesterday when I did Grubhub, I was going to these really exclusive, nice looking restaurants, and each of those persons gave me a tip of $14, $15 on the app with Grubhub. But I know their order was like $40, $50 easily, because it was the type of restaurants I was going to. The type of restaurants I was going to. I wasn't going to no chain restaurants. I was going to very exclusive. When you go there to the restaurant, you just can't come in there with no t-shirt and jeans and shorts on and stuff. You got to get dressed up and make reservations. And I was delivering to those kind of people up in Buckhead, and each of those persons who ordered from Grubhub, they left a tip of 13, 14. The 3 orders I did yesterday with Grubhub, the tips were $14, $17 dollars in tips, until I came across this one asshole who lived, the concierge let you upstairs. Even though he gave me $2, he left me $3, and I can't even. And I felt good. I said, okay, fine, I guess compared to what he ordered at some Ethiopian or some kind of, I can't remember what kind of restaurant it was. I think Ethiopian type of restaurant or something. And it probably wasn't no big classy place, So that $3 tip was probably adequate enough, but but it was the fact that I felt that if they didn't have, luckily for him, they had parking where I could go and park in the front, and the security guard, he wasn't, the concierge rather, was kind of like, well, I don't care, he was kind of lax anyway, but he still did his job. And he just told the person to call before he could allow me to go upstairs, because he had to use the key for me to go into the elevator and go upstairs. So I think sometimes people could go downstairs in the lobby and get the food, because I don't feel comfortable in certain times having to go all the way upstairs to the 15th, 16th floor to give you your food. I think that people should come downstairs and get their food, rather than me having to, okay, we go to the concierge and sign in and all that, because some of those places, when you park, go into the condos, they got other people parking in the front. Sometimes you may not be able to park in the front of the building because people all these other Uber and Lyft drivers and limousines be parked up in the front. So sometimes you may not always be able to park in the front, especially when some people like to park in the front, park you in and you can't get out because somebody's got you blocked in from the back and the front. Anything could happen. That's why I don't really like going to condos and everything else, because that could happen, and people don't give a damn if they block you in or not. You park behind somebody, or somebody come right behind you, park and leave, go upstairs, and then you got to figure out how to get out. That's why I don't like doing that. Because sometimes they give you 15 minutes. You only got 15 minutes to do what you got to do and go upstairs and come back up, and that's it. Some of those places, they're not as lenient about that situation when it comes to going to these private, condos and parking in the front of the building. They have those people be standing right there in the thing, across the street, ready for you to go over your 15 minutes, and then next thing you know, you got a boot on your car. So it's too many places in Atlanta that's like that now. No, you can't park there. Even though you delivering food, they don't want you to be there for a minute. And some of them could be assholes. Sometimes they're not as lenient about when you park in those condos and stuff. Sometimes it'll be a pain in the ass. That's why I don't like it. And I think that Grubhub and Uber Eats, they need to start charging these people premiums and not a fee that goes to them either. They need to start letting drivers add on their own app. Did you have to go and find difficulties parking and an inconvenience fee of maybe $1, $2? That's what they need to do. I had to sit here, run across the street, run to the Hooters on Peachtree Street, pick up a bag of food, double park, nearly kill yourself running across the street now. They need to straight up charge them. Straight up get, let the driver get $2 just because of that. If they want people to go downtown and get food, that's what they need to do. That's what they need to do. To be honest, they need to change the rates. They need to say, okay, for the guarantee, if you're in the heart of downtown Atlanta, the guarantee will be $15 if you're in that zone. They need a special zone. Because how the hell I'm gonna live in a condo downtown Atlanta? I don't have a car, and you don't need to have a car, and you don't want a car, that you want to order food and groceries delivered when you're walking distance from a lot of things. Walking distance. People are so dang walking distance. I don't know what you're saying. I have to read that when I get closer to the house. See what you're saying. And when I lived in New York, even when I lived in Buckhead a few years ago, I lived in the Darlington Apartments, and I was there yesterday. Passed by the Darlington, and I was like, damn, they changed this area so much. It was right across you from the Shepherd Center and Piedmont Hospital, and then right next to the hospital, they tore down all those raggedy looking older buildings and building up I don't know what. And I lived in a studio, and at the time I was paying maybe like $5 something a month, which included water and everything, gas, electric. I think the least that I ever spent living there when I first moved there, I know it was in the low it may have been the high 400s, or it may have been in the low 500s. No, I think it was in the low 500s, because it wasn't that expensive to live. But this was the 90s. Now ain't no telling how much it costs to live over there. And it's like one of these buildings that was built in 1950s. It's a huge building, and it's shaped like a cross from the sky view. But and it had a studio, or it had one bedroom. I loved it. It was next to everything. It was next to that Pete Diddy's restaurant before it closed down. And then it was Frank Ski restaurant, little DJ. He's based in Atlanta. He used to be based in Baltimore at one time. He had a restaurant that closed down and bulldozed it down, and now it's supposed to be part of Emory Hospital. But now, those apartments and stuff, they want $1,800 minimum, and it's a studio. It's almost $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to live in those areas now, in any of those condos and apartments. And you're not even buying it. That's just renting. So, to me, I don't understand how you could pay that much in rent and they want to feel cheap and can't even give a good, adequate tip. It makes me sick. It just makes me so sick every time I think about that. And then they always try to tell you how to drive. Yeah, just park right there. Just park right there at the fire hydrant. Motherfucker, you ain't even got a damn car. How the hell you gonna sit here and tell me where to park? And then when Atlanta police pulls up and give you a ticket, you'll bring your happy ass right upstairs, eating your lunch and your breakfast and dinner, while I sit in here and got $170 something boot on my damn wheel. What people could give a damn. And to be honest with you, Like I said, Grubhub, Uber Eats, and all of them, they need to start charging higher if you want people to go downtown. Because I ain't doing it. If I go downtown, trust me, if they ever catch me going straight in the heart of downtown, Grubhub customer service driver support is going to hear it. I'm like, oh, nope. I said, there's a police officer. They told me that I cannot park here. There's no parking. Can you call the customer and ask them if they could meet me at the curve? And I'm going to try to pull up and wait for a few minutes. And that's it, you know. And then if they give me lip and they don't want to do it, then I guess I have to take the food home and eat it, or give it to a homeless person or whatever. But so far I haven't had to, except for that last week Friday with that jackass I had to deal with, you know. And I hate it because downtown is the east zone for Grubhub. I was like, God dang, how fortunate. They need to make that a special zone all by itself. Matter of fact, what they need to do is, if they have people who live downtown, I'm quite sure they got a lot of students who live, you know, who Georgia State, Georgia Tech, you know, they could be in walking distance to go to some of these places, these condos. Maybe they need to have a courier. Maybe that's what they need to do. If you have a bicycle, just like New York, let those people who have a bike and they live downtown and they live near Peachtree Street and Piedmont, and they could go on their bike. Let them do deliveries in those areas. That would be a good one. You know, Atlanta's becoming like New York anyway, in a way. Shoot. Oops, I'm finally home, y'all. That's what they need to do. If you live and you could have your little, you know, bike, shoot, they want to promote those bikes. Every time you go walking around Peachtree, they got these little blue little bicycles that people could rent, and they could just ride around the neighborhood, ride to the park, ride all over inside and all in throughout the city. And then when they don't want to use it, they just put it back to some designated bike rack. You know, DoorDash, they talking about using these little robots to deliver food, pick up from the restaurant and put it in a little robot thing, and then it'll be delivered. You know, stuff like, I mean, when you live downtown, and it's not just in Atlanta, San Francisco, I heard it's like that. You know, all these little areas, everything is built around in town, in the city. You don't even need a car. That's why Uber and then Lyft, that's who they really focusing on. That's who they marketing to. The in-town crowd, the people who live within the city. And they live within the city. Oh, it's hot. All right, y'all, I'm in the house now. I'm trying to make my way. Oh, I hate this light. Okay, I'm gonna go upstairs. I know it's gonna be dark in a few minutes. Let's see what I got here to drink. Need some water. I see two people. Y'all still hanging in there. Still listening to me in the dark. Oh, apple cider vinegar water. All right, it'll be light in a few minutes. Whew. I need to get this electrician out here. Have me. I need to put that thing light and that thing up in this thing steps. Whew. All right, I'm finally home. Upstairs in the room. Yeah. All right. I'm home. Thank goodness. It's been a long day. And for it to be a long day and felt that it was slow, monetary wise, it didn't really seem like it was a busy day for me. I mean, for the time, started out in the morning at 11 o'clock, even though I didn't leave the house until about 11:30 to pick up that first McDonald's order. And after that, it just kind of, the orders just started trickling down. It wasn't like it was busy and popping like the minute I pick up an order, something else came up right away. It was kind of steady today. That's how it felt, And then once my block started with Grubhub and trying to see if I get any orders with Grubhub, it didn't really, like I said, for it not to be, I really thought that maybe I'm just sitting around the house and didn't get any orders, but that wasn't the case. I'll be back, y'all. Alright, I'm back. Okay, let me see what some of y'all been saying, because I couldn't read in the dark. Nothing with a drive-through need to get a set of floors of Oh, that's good. You know what, though, to be honest with you, $16 in tips is usually the average if it's a good day for tips. If it's a good day for tips, you'll get $16 in tips. With all those people that I picked up, if those 9 other people just gave $2 plus the tips that I got today, I'm telling you, it don't make no sense. With the orders that I got, one plate, when you picking up 2 plates and 1 plate items and stuff, those people, you can leave $2 to $3 easily. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. It ain't gonna hurt nobody's pocket book. to leave $2 as a tip. I mean, really, people? Y'all that damn cheap and ungrateful? Hey, Alicia. Yeah, I was just telling how my day went. I did Grubhub and Uber Eats. And I made my guarantee for Grubhub because I only had one order all day. I had 3 blocks. And the last half hour before my block was to be over at 8 o'clock, I got an order all the way at the house to go 26 minutes away, and I went all the way to Buford Highway area to pick up some food. And let me tell you, it was such a big order of food from this Chinese restaurant, Asian restaurant rather. And when I dropped off the food to the guy, the tip was like what was it? I think it was $2. I don't even think it was $3. I want to say it was $2 or $3, but the amount of food he had, it should have been way better. It should have been a better tip than that. You know, unless that food was very inexpensive. But I don't know. The way I look at it, Grubhub has to make up the difference anyway. So now tomorrow, I got an 8-hour day with Grubhub, and Sundays are usually pretty good. So I think Sunday, what I'm gonna do tomorrow is I'm not gonna just sit around the house. I mean, I start at noon. I think if I think I'm gonna go to, I don't know. I'm trying to debate if I want to go to North Drew Hill area, Decatur, or do I want to go to Swanee, Alpharetta area. I'm trying to debate which area do I want to start at in regards to orders. I think I'm gonna go back to my old stomping grounds. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm gonna go back to my old stomping grounds. I'm not gonna venture out and go to Swanee when I used to go and do Instacart. I'm not gonna go out there, even though no, I'm not gonna really go out there. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow with Grubhub, but I know that I never used to have to work towards acceptance rate of 100% with Grubhub, and I could still make what I used to do when I was doing Grubhub was, like, especially on a Sunday, that if the order was not $10 or more, if it was less than a certain amount, say it was like $6. I didn't used to take anything lower than that. I would wait until I get like the $10 or more orders and try to get that done, because you have to know your area and you have to know where the higher end restaurants are, because if you hang around ghetto areas, you know, fast food joints and stuff like that, you're not really going to make as much money with Grubhub, period. You may get the guarantee if you got blocks. That's the only advantage with the blocks, is that you get the $10 hourly guarantee if you don't make over a certain amount of money. But if you stay around areas, even though Grubhub and Uber Eats and stuff, and they expanded out in the suburbs, but the suburbs, black folks and Mexicans live in the suburbs now. White folks don't live in the suburbs no more, unless it's a gated, exclusive area like Swanee and Roswell and things like that. But if you go to a lower end neighborhoods or places with a lot of fast food restaurants up and down the street, you're not going to make a lot of money with Grubhub. You'll get the guarantee. But if you go to higher end class neighborhoods, then you most likely would get more like $15 or more. You know, you're not going to be driving far too much. So you have to really know what areas to go to. And you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try that out tomorrow. I'm going to start at Decatur area, downtown Decatur, North True Hills. So I'm going to start over there. And then I'm going to make my way more towards the Buckhead area. You know, that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to start over there tomorrow. And then I'll turn on Uber Eats and see what I can get out of that. But Uber Eats on a Sunday, it could be pretty good. But I'm telling you, doing Stone Mountain for Uber Eats and stuff, it's so disheartening. You know, for the last 2 weeks I've done Uber Eats and Stone Mountain around the house. Let me tell you, when you look at your earning tabs and you scrolling down and all you see is $4, $5, $4, $3, $5 and no tip, nothing, no green check mark or nothing. And then it proves my point. I got a $5 tip in cash from this white girl. I knew she was from some other country because she had an accent, but really, all these niggers and Negroes. I'm watching somebody's video, Walter Lee Hampton III. He makes some crazy videos. This big buff. Let me show you his picture on my screen. Y'all see that?
I won't call him private, but
let me put that down. Good evening. Can you stay around certain restaurants to get more orders? Yeah, you can. Are you talking about for Grubhub or are you talking about for Uber Eats? So doing the do, which one for you to earn more? But I'm saying for who though? Are you talking about for Uber Eats or are you talking about for Grubhub? That's what I'm asking. Well, let me try to answer that without both ways. With Uber Eats, you can hang around a certain restaurant if you know they're busy and they get a lot of orders with Uber Eats. Now, the only way how I'll hang around the only way how I wouldn't hang around, say, a certain restaurant is when a certain time of day when it's busy, period, and all the restaurants is going to be popping. Then I wouldn't do that. But if it's a slow day or you don't want to travel outside a certain, say you got short trips, and I'm going to give you an example because people have been doing this. In Stone Mountain where I live, there's a wing place right up the street, and there's a McDonald's, and there's another wing place across the street from that. One day, I sat at that restaurant at this wing place, and that Uber Eats thing was going off. They had 5 orders in that 20-minute time that I was sitting there, or 30-minute time I was sitting, because I had ordered some wings for myself and I ate there, and that Uber Eats thing was going off the chain. Ding, ding, ding. So they told me it was this one lady. She lives in Stone Mountain too, up the street somewhere. And what she would do was she would go to that restaurant, pick up the food, drop it off, go right back, and she would just go right back and forth, back and forth. And that restaurant, and she would get most of the orders from that restaurant. And she would just control how many miles she put on the car. She lived up the street, and she just know to go there. And she would probably get, if I had to take a guess, if she was doing that and say she wanted to just go to that particular wing place, and she knows they get 15, 20 orders or whatever, and she just does that back and forth, and sometimes that restaurant place of ordering wings, you may be going, you go an average of $4 to $7. So if you did that, say you take an average of, let's say you just do $5 average, and you go to this one restaurant that that's always busy, and you say, you know what, I'm just gonna keep going there. You could really get a lot of orders that way. Now I haven't yet tried it yet. I haven't just tried it to say, you know what, let me just concentrate and say I'm gonna go to this place and try to pick up their orders. But it gets so busy that you may not be able to do that because so many people be hanging around certain restaurants, and they may take your your sweet spot. So don't always give away your sweet spot location, because next thing you know, everybody else be swarming around there too, and you be like, well, goddamn. Because I know when they told me they was getting a bunch of orders, and if I didn't want to go on certain all over town, and I said, you know what, I don't care about, I know I'm not gonna get any tips, but let me go ahead and try to, get volume of orders, then I'll do that. I'll do that. And just go to that one place or that one spot and just keep going back and forth. And if I know, and that's what I do, that's what I did. But don't give away your secret spot, because people be hanging around. What city you live in? Doing the thing. Grubhub, you have to be in an area. Yeah. Oh, Massachusetts. I don't know much about Massachusetts, so do you live near the colleges like Boston University or Boston College and stuff, or do you live more in the outskirts of Boston? Just find that one place in the area, and I would hang around there. That's what I would do. And another tip that I got from somebody, see, when school comes back in session in the fall, I heard that there was a no, I never heard of Roadie. Yeah, I heard of Roadie. Matter of fact, I used Roadie when I had asked somebody to go to this place, H.H. Gregg, that was going out of business, to get this file cabinet, and I used Roadie, and I paid the guy, well, on the app, it was $40 or maybe less. It was $35. The person I think he made $35 or something like that. I heard of Roadie. Matter of fact, I got that. I signed up to do Roadie, but I never could find nothing on there. It was a few places they want to do it was in Buckhead. This what they call those cupcakes. They want you to pick up cupcakes and deliver it to people. And every time I every time I see that pop up, I could never get it because somebody else has already done it, and I was never in the area or I had something to do. But I've used Roadie as a customer, but I've never done it as a driver. Yeah, it gets busy when they come back to school. Well, I do about shit. I do about see, this is my only job for now. But I probably do about 50 hours. It depends. I don't know. It depends. I can't really say how many hours I've done. I know because I was doing Instacart for a while, and today I started at 11. I turned on the app at 11, and then when I was I did it from 11 to 10 o'clock, and then I was already in Peachtree Corner, so I didn't turn on the app destination to pick up orders on my way home at that point. So, because I know that if I was to turn on the app right now, I'll be going right up to that McDonald's up the street. But people be ordering McDonald's at night. And then there's some other places that's further away. Oh, okay, I did Orange Theory. I can't remember because I had my insurance plan, which was part of it, where I get reimbursed back for gym memberships if you go to the gym to weight to do, for exercise and to lose weight and get healthy. So I had a plan that okay. Hey, crowd man, I ain't seen you in a while. Last time I saw you was at that wing place, our little secret spot that I was telling people about. No, I ain't seen that in Georgia. I don't know. I don't know why I don't see the comments when I'm in Google Hangout. I just don't know how. Maybe I don't know how to do it. I had to figure out how to do it. How to do the control panel on Google Hangout so I can see the comments. Because I see the comments that you wrote after that, and then I'll read some people's comments. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you. You know, when I'm in the Google Hangout with my laptop, I can't figure out how to do the response. You have to tell me how to do it. I don't be ignoring. Now you know I don't ignore you when I do it on my phone. So when I'm on my phone, like right now, I could see what you're saying, but I can't even write anything either. I think so. I think you could. I don't know. I have to figure out how to do it. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm not gonna do it now because if I do it now, it's gonna come and have like an echo. Just send me your email or send me a private message, and then when I do a hangout thing or something, I could figure it out how to do it. Because I know there's a thing where I could do sessions with Hangouts, and you could invite people on Hangout. But yeah, let's do that because I'm starting my I'm starting to revamp. I'm starting to really focus on my tax consulting business, and I'm gonna start doing my series of taxes because you know that people who, you know, ask for a 6-month extension, October 15th is fast approaching, and there's a lot of y'all who've been inquiring about not filing previous year taxes.